Yes.
Thank you. You all may be seated. So it has come to the court's attention that, well, first, we're here on a final divorce involving children and property division, and it's come to the court's attention that the parties have entered into a partial partial agreement, a Rule 11 agreement concerning the child issues, with the exception of child support. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, Judge.
Okay. Whichever one wants to read the agreement in.
Judge, I'm here on behalf of Ms. Serda, and the parties have agreed that the mother and father will be joint managed conservators of the children. That the mother is the primary conservator with the right to establish the residency in Dallas and contiguous counties. That the father's visitation with his son Edgar Mejia Jr. will be standard with standard holidays, and that the younger child, Jacqueline Serda, who's 18 months, will until she turns 2, will have visitation on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 during the school year, each first, third, and fifth Friday, beginning at 6 and ending at 8 p.m., 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The following Saturday and Sunday on the following the first, third, and fifth Friday. On Saturday at 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. and on Sunday from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. as well. Once the child turns 2 years of age until she turns 3, she will have each Thursday from 6 to 8 during the school year, as well as each first, third, and fifth Friday, beginning at 6, ending on Saturday at 6 p.m. Once that youngest child turns 3, she will have a standard possession and standard holidays for the fall. Until she turns 3, she will have a carve out on holidays, which is for her until she turns 3. She will have each with her father. She will have each Thanksgiving Day. Father should have her with the other son from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. And on the holidays, the father has possession of the son, pursuant to the standard possession schedule. Father will also have possession of Jacqueline for 6 hours, which should be arranged and agreed to between the parties. If an agreement is not reached, or father shall have possession with the youngest daughter at 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. or between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. with at father's election with 5 days notice to the mother. Father's going to continue to pay cash medical support because he wants the children on Medicaid. And regarding rights, Judge, mothers have the exclusive right again to designate the primary residence of the children. In Dallas contiguous. The right to consent to medical, dental, and surgical involving basic procedures will be independent. Right to consent to psychiatric and psychological treatment will be independent. Right to receive and give receipt for child support shall be exclusive to the mother. The right to represent the child in legal actions and make other positions of substantial legal significance is also going to be independent. The right to consent to marriage or enlist in the armed forces shall be by joint agreement. The mother shall make have an exclusive right to make decisions concerning the child's education and enrollment. The right to services and earnings of the child shall be independent. And except when a guardian of the child's estate or guardian ad litem has been appointed, the right to act as a child's agent will be by joint agreement. And finally, the right to apply for a passport and renew and maintain the child's passport shall be by independent and rights. A couple more things, Judge.
No worries.
The parties have agreed that the father is in arrears for child support. As of today, we're going to take judgment in the amount of $2,000. Judgment granted in favor of my client and with interest to attach until paid, and he will begin to make regular payments of $100 a month towards that arrearage beginning on August 1st, 2026, and each month thereafter to pay in full. The parties also agreed that the father is behind on his spousal support obligation to my client. And my client is gonna be granted a judgment in the amount of $9,000 as of today as well. For past due temporary spousal support that was unpaid, with interest to attach. And the father will also pay that off at a rate of $150 a month, beginning on August 1st, 2026, and each month thereafter until closing court. I think the parties have also agreed to a medical support judgment of $460. And the father is going to pay that judgment rate of $25 per month, beginning August 1st, 2026.
Does that conclude the agreement, counsel?
I believe so.
All right, Attorney Ramirez, anything to add?
No, that does conclude the agreement that you just want to have for the record, because a lot of times when we read out arrears, we assume a responsibility. I do want to point out that father has paid 13,000 towards the support, has paid 3,000 towards the spousal, so he has paid a cumulative of about, well, the 15,000 to mother, so I do just want to point out it's not complete a responsibility.
Okay, is it reflecting that on the
On the
pay
pay record,
record?
Judge, most of those payments, I think, were direct payments made to mother.
Did we do an affidavit? Get that taken care of?
We just agreed in this momentarily.
Oh, okay, I got you. Well, could we add that to the agreement too? That mother would do the affidavit to ensure that he gets credit for that?
Well, I can include credit language, in the final order. No problem. I mean, the only amount that's kind of disputed is that the 60, so everything else included sufficient language. Direct payments were made, so, I mean, essentially, according to the pay record, 70, 200 in child support, and it's 8,000, 8 spousal. So OHG doesn't need an affidavit to get the order, guys, that's my statement.
Okay. All right, so is there anything further as far as the agreement?
Nothing from my situation.
All right, so the court accepts the agreement between the parties and renders judgment on the Rule 11 agreement. All right, so prior to going on the record, some exhibits were pre-admitted to the court. They will be admitted at this time. So we have State's Exhibit A that will be admitted. We have Mother's Exhibits 1 through 22 that will be admitted. And then we have Father's Exhibits 1 through 21, number 23 and 24. Although 22 was submitted to the court and pre-admitted, it involves the kids' issue, so that's no longer an issue. So those exhibits are all admitted. You all will have 45 minutes per side that will include any opening and closing statements as well as any examination that you will do. Attorney Lopez, would you like to make an opening statement at this time?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you may proceed.
Your Honor, before we proceed with Judge Lopez's opening statement, I would like to invoke the rule.
Oh, yes.
Another witness.
Okay, so the rule has been invoked, sir? Yes. Sir, the rule has been invoked. So you will have to remain in the hallway until you're called to give testimony. And make sure that you took the thing from him. You have to give him some instruction. You're not allowed to speak with anyone about this case. You'll just remain in the hallway, or you can sit in those two rooms.
Right, I could inquire for the other witnesses. I know they're not seven witnesses, but I would like to know who the other witnesses.
It's not a witness.
I know, but what's her relation? Because
She's to the boyfriend.
oh, okay. Just want to make sure she's not related to the third party witness, like the spouse, because I have spousal privilege, so my idea would be to prevent any communication between them. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. No worries. All right. So are we ready to proceed now?
Now we are.
Okay, all right. Attorney Lopez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge. Judge, we're here in family court today and, not very, perhaps not surprising. What we expect the evidence shows that this case is about greed. We expect the evidence to show that greed is a terrible and destructive thing in marriage. And we expect to show that there's going to be some lies and deceit trying to be perpetrated in this courtroom today. And that we expect the evidence to show that my client, essentially a housewife taking care of the kids, and she met Mr. Mejia and helped him start a business. We expect the evidence to show that she had brought some money into the marriage, some money that she had of her own, she saved and worked hard for, and some money that she was keeping for some family because she was a good, basically saver of money, and that she used that account even to help her husband start a business. At times when he had financial issues, lent him money, which he paid back. At this point, that money is all gone. My client's going to testify, expect they can show that she spent it on living expenses, but somehow that money that was brought into the marriage is somehow being listed as some kind of hidden fund that my client has, which my client had a dispute on the stand. Additionally, Judge, we expect the evidence to show that my client and her husband approached a third party, that is my client's uncle, who's a witness here today, and that they approached him about borrowing some money. And they approached him about borrowing $60,000 that her uncle had, and they got from him, and they used to put as a down payment on the house that they bought, and is currently an issue before today, the marital property. They were supposed to pay that loan back, and they've gone back and forth about trying to pay the uncle back, but he's, to this day, is not getting paid back. My client is asking the court, won't be asking the court to sell the house and pay the uncle back the $60,000. It's just something that really bothers her, and it's something that they tried to reach an agreement on, they have not been able to, and she just wants the house sold and anything that's left over divided between the parties. We expect the evidence to show that my client has a simple request today, and that is he can keep the business that she helped him create, and a business that he's apparently very successful at. He's making a lot of money and he's doing very well for himself, but there aren't any records about how bank balance sheets or profit and loss statements. There aren't any way to determine the value of this business, so he's going to keep business and all the equipment with it. My client is still not full-time employee, but she has an 18-month-old child, and she's willing just to walk away with her uncle being paid and with some of the furniture from the house. But she wants child support set correctly, Judge. We expect the evidence to show that temporary orders child support was set at $1,000, but that was before we got records. And now that we have records, we expect the court to find that the child support should be set more in the range of $2,400 a month, based on Mr. Mejia's net earnings. He spends a lot of money every month, and we expect the evidence to show he spends in the neighborhood of living over about $9,000, close to $10,000 every month. He has $7,000 that he spends on personal expenses, $2,700 on a mortgage for his house, another $1,000 on child support, $10,000 right there, Judge. We also kind of court noticed that he did a financial information sheet, which is listed as respondents too. And on his financial information sheet, he lists as his personal expenses every month $9,304. And this is net income, Judge. This is income that he spent every week. This is not gross income. This is money he spent, and we're asking the court to take that net income and set child support at 25% of that, which will be over $2,000. We also let the court notice that exhibit number 2, which we previously admitted, lists no income for him. He doesn't even, I don't think he even knows how much money he makes because he didn't list it. So as a result, Judge, we asked the court to take a look at the child support issue, have order the house be sold within 90 days of the decree being entered, and pay the uncle back, and let my client get some of the furniture from the house and grant a divorce to the parties, Judge.
Thank you, counsel. Attorney Ramirez.
Your Honor, surprisingly, I would like to agree with Judge Lopez. This case is a lot about agreeing about who gets to keep the money. But unlike wife, what you're gonna hear from husband is not going to be testimony, but actually corroborating documentation towards this story. Husband's gonna be the only one that's gonna show the court that discovery was propounded and that wife didn't fully answer it and in fact omitted bank statements. And husband's gonna be the only one that's gonna show that through her own interrogatory, she only disclosed one bank account, and yet somehow later, through luck, husband ended up finding a receipt where she was hiding another $60,000 that she never disclosed. So we're talking about honesty. Why don't you just disclose the bank statement? We know the answer for that is because we don't want you to know, or she didn't want you to know. Now, as far as husband having a business, it's very easy to say this person's owning a business. My client's a subcontractor for himself. There's no LLC, there's no PC Corp, there's not even a DBA, Your Honor. He works for himself, he uses a marketing name. We're not denying that his expenses that are in Exhibit R2 are his expenses. And we produce, in fact, during the discovery process, over 2,000 pages to the wife. So as far as who's disclosing all the information, husband's disclosed everything he needed to disclose. That's why wife is able to make the argument today about what the child support amount should be. That's why they were able to calculate his expenses, because he was honest about his disclosures, because he has nothing to hide. I anticipate that on the stand, you're gonna hear today about the $60,000 loan and how it was used to pay for a house. And my client's gonna testify to the veracity of it. Now, what I would ask the court to not indulge the wife in is, she's asking the court to basically render a judgment that is in favor of a third party. That third party is not part of this case. That loan is unsecured, and my client will testify that he was never part of these conversations. We understand under the community property rules that those may apply, but we're gonna ask the court to look at what the actual law is and who was the person actually controlling this. Now, you also heard something about money brought into the marriage. Well, I'm looking at the petition, and unless I'm illiterate, then I don't see a confirmation of separate property. And when I'm looking through all these exhibits, I don't see any tracing schedule. So that presumption is on the wife. So, Your Honor, I think today we're correct. It's about who's been hiding money from the other and who has been forthright disclosing the money that exists. And when the court looks at the proposed property division, I think the court will find that husband is being more than fair. He's okay with her keeping the money that she took, all 100,000 of it. What he would ask is, just let me keep the house. It's worth far less than what she's owed. And it would be a just the right division, and he would just continue to pay for it as he has. So we anticipate that when the evidence is done, it's gonna be the paperwork and the documents that would show the court who's the person that's actually money, not just uncorroborated testimony.
Thank you, counsel. Attorney Dale.
State what is opening.
All right, Attorney Lopez, you may call your first witness.
Call my client to stand, Judge.
Where you want me to see? All right, just make sure you pull the microphone close to your mouth. And counsel, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, go ahead and state your name, please.
Diana Maria Cerda Alviso.
And ma'am, is Mr. Edgar Mejia, is he your husband?
Yes,
You and he got or lived together as husband and wife,
yes,
represented to others, you were husband and wife?
yes, always.
And agreed to be husband and wife, is that right?
Yes,
And when did you get together with him? What year?
We started dating as boyfriend and girlfriend in 2019 and moved together in 2020.
And how many children do you have together with him?
Two.
And you heard the agreements we have regarding each other, did you?
Yes.
Ma'am, are you pregnant now?
No.
Did you and he adopt any kids?
No.
When did you and he separate as husband and wife? What was the last time?
Noviembre del 2024.
November of 2024.
And prior to filing for divorce, have you lived in Dallas County for at least 90 days?
Sí,
Yes.
Have you lived in the state of Texas for at least 6 months prior to filing?
sí,
Yes.
Has your marriage become insupportable due to conflicts or a personality with your husband that destroys the marriage relationship?
Yes.
Any chance you and he will reconcile and live back together again as husband and wife?
no,
No.
Are you asking the court to grant you divorce here today?
sí.
Yes.
Ma'am, at the time that you met your husband, did he have this business that he's operating?
No.
What kind of business does he have, ma'am?
Tenía una compañía, bueno, cuando yo me separé de él, tenía una compañía de construcción, principalmente plomería.
Well, he has a company. Well, when I separated from him, he used to have a plumbing company. It's a construction company.
And ma'am, when you met your husband, did you bring any money into that marriage that you had before you met him?
Sí, yo tenía mis ahorros que los tenía para las universidades de mi hijo mayor.
Yes, I had my savings, and I was saving for my oldest child for college.
And were you also saving money for or acting as a savings of money for your family members?
Para mis hermanos,
For my brothers.
How much money did you have before you did you bring into the marriage?
alrededor de $40,000.
Around $40,000.
At some point, did that number rise to about 60,000, man?
Solo cuando mis hermanos me dieron temporalmente a guardar ese dinero, y eso él lo sabía.
Only with my brothers temporarily saving their money for me to save it, and he knew that.
Man, did you ever loan any of that money to your husband during your marriage?
En muchas ocasiones.
Many times.
How much money would you loan him, man?
Algunas veces le presté, llegó a deberme hasta 18,000, otras veces llegó a deberme 30,000, otras veces 10,000, pero me lo daba y luego me lo volví a pedir, me lo daba y me lo volví a pedir. Y yo siempre le expliqué a él que por favor ese dinero me lo regresara porque era lo que yo tenía ahorrado de toda mi vida que he trabajado, y mi principal sueño es que mi hijo fuera, en ese tiempo nomás tenía un hijo cuando lo conocí, fuera a la universidad porque no quiso un niño que
See, sometimes he will ask for $18,000, others for $30,000, others for $10,000, and well, he will pay me back. And I always explain him that this was my whole life working money that I was saving, and my dream was for my oldest son to go to college.
él lo sabía.
Hold on 1 second, hold on 1 second. Wait for the next question.
Yes. All right, ma'am, do you have any of that money left over?
No tengo nada de ese dinero y me gustaría, si me dan la oportunidad, de decir por qué.
I don't have that money anymore, nothing, and I would like to see if you can please give me the opportunity to say why.
Ma'am, were you, working full-time and you were married, while you were living with, your husband, Mr. Mejia?
No, yo dejé mi trabajo porque él quería que yo fuera ama de casa y me encargara del hogar y solo le ayudaba a él a hacer lo del negocio.
No, I did my job because he wanted me to be a housewife, and I was in charge of the house, and I also helped him with the business.
And ma'am, how did you help him with business?
Pues a veces él me pedía que fuera a comprar material o cuando hacía los contratos, como mis hermanos son bilingües, ellos y yo nos ayudábamos pues, a hablar con la gente. A veces me tocó también ir a trabajar porque en tiempo de pandemia, cuando él y yo éramos novios, yo me enseñé a hacer el trabajo de la plomería y cuando él no tenía trabajadores, yo iba a ayudar.
Okay, sometimes I will help him with going and buying, purchasing material, others doing the contracts. And why was I helping him with the contract? Just because my brothers are bilingual. So we used to help him with that. And also during the pandemic, he taught me how to do plumbing. And I used to go and help him with that when there were no one else, no workers to do it.
Ma'am, did you ever, go to the bank for him to cash checks and get money?
So you don't know. Cheques y
Cuando él me mandaba, sí, para los trabajadores o para comprar material.
yes, when he sent me, to pay the workers or to buy material.
Ma'am, did you ever steal any money from your husband or from the community?
Nunca.
Never.
Did you have to use any of that money for your living expenses, the 60,000 you should say?
Sí, porque cuando yo me separé de él estaba embarazada y él nunca me quiso ayudar y no fui a pastor, estaba en mi posparto cuando él se llevó a vivir otra mujer a nuestra casa, se desentendió totalmente de mí y de los niños por un año. Entonces yo tuve que usar ese dinero, tengo gastos de camioneta.
Yes, I had to use those $16,000 because I was pregnant, and and that was when we got separated. And I had to use that money because during my postpartum, he took another woman to live in my house, and that was for about a year. And I had to pay for my truck.
Let me just ask another question. Ma'am, when you separated from your husband, what did you take from the house when you left?
Solo una de mi ropa de mis hijos, una cama y mi vanity. Un mueble no sé qué se explica.
Yes, when I separated from him, I took my clothes, my children's clothes, and also my sleeping bed and a vanity. I don't know how to say it, a furniture.
And did you give me a list of property that you're asking the court to award to you from the house?
Una lista de los muebles herederos.
Do you refer to the list of the furniture?
Yes, ma'am, exhibit number 22.
Ok, la cámara.
Oh, yes, ma'am, yes or no, ma'am, did you give me a list? Yes or no?
Sí,
Yes.
Me at Berkshire?
Yes.
I'm showing you exhibit number 22. Is this the list of things you want from the house?
Yes.
So ma'am, let me ask you this, when you and your husband were purchasing this house, did you approach your uncle for a loan for that house?
sí,
Yes.
And who asked him for a loan?
los dos.
Both of us.
And is that the uncle that's here today, ma'am?
Sí,
Yes.
And how much money did he loan to you and your husband?
$60,000.
$60,000.
And did you agree to pay that money back to him?
Sí, él me dijo que en un año se lo iba a pagar.
Yes, he said that within a year we were going to pay him.
Has he been paid back any of that money, Mike?
No,
Are you asking the court to, order that the house be sold?
Sí,
yes,
Are you wanting that, loan to be paid back? You want that 60,000 to come from the proceeds of the house to pay back that loan?
por favor, sí.
please, yes.
Is that a big concern of yours today, man?
Todo el tiempo.
All the time.
And ma'am, do you, recall that, have you and your husband done a big bunch of work on that house to improve the condition of the house?
Sí, tengo muchas cosas.
Yes, we added or installed a lot of things.
Do you believe that, that house could sell for, more than you owe on it, and there would be some proceeds that be granted to you and your husband?
Sí, porque a la casa se le hicieron muchas cosas que no tenían cuando la compramos.
Yes, because we fixed many things on the house that he didn't have when we purchased it.
And ma'am, do you have a van, a Yukon that you drive?
Sí,
Yes,
And you have the court to grant that to you?
sí,
yes,
How much do you owe on that Yukon, ma'am?
aproximadamente como $19,000.
approximately $19,000.
Is that about what it's worth?
Yes.
Sí,
Yes,
Ma'am, do you, have any money in any bank accounts right now that, the court should know that could be divided in this case?
no, no tengo tampoco nada que ocultar, no tengo nada.
no, I don't have anything and I don't have nothing to hide.
Ma'am, where are you living right now?
Con mi hermano.
With my brother.
And are you, working full-time now?
No, no puedo trabajar tiempo completo porque tengo 2 niños pequeños.
No, I can't work full time because I have 2 little children.
Ma'am, did you, does your husband earn a substantial amount of money?
Mucho.
A lot.
And how do you know that, ma'am?
Porque yo miraba las cantidades de dinero que ganaba.
Because I used to see the amounts of money that he used to earn.
And ma'am, are you asking the court to set, to increase the child support to what it should be based on his income?
Sí, yo solo quiero echar soporte para mis hijos.
Yes, I just want a fair child support for my children.
And did I'm gonna show you what's my mark is exhibit number 19. And what's your?
Yes.
And do you, have you seen this document before?
Solo el día que usted me lo mostró.
Only the day that you showed to me.
Now, this is an IRS, a signature page, isn't that right?
Excuse me, which exhibit are we doing?
19, sorry.
Yes.
Now, do you see where it represents your signature on this document?
Yes.
Did you sign this document, ma'am?
No.
No.
And, the date of this the date that you allegedly signed it, what date was that?
Junio 21, 2025.
June 21st, 2025.
Had you already separated from him by that point, ma'am?
Sí, ya estábamos próximos a la primer corte que tuvimos.
Yes, we were about to have the first court, or the one that we had.
And were you upset to see this document with a signature on it that's not yours?
Sí,
Yes.
Ma'am, have you, during your marriage, taken checks to the bank so you could get money out for your husband?
sí.
Yes.
Ma'am, did you, take out another vehicle? Did you get a loan for a vehicle, a van that you could use?
Quizá que el préstamo, pero esa vez yo nunca lo sé.
Yes, I did get the loan, but I never used that
Lo
van.
hice para ayudarlo a él.
I did it to help him.
And what happened to that van that you took out in your name that was for your husband?
No lo sé, él ya no, simplemente no me la quiso entregar. Y de hecho, yo tuve que estarla pagando unos meses, pero cuando ya no tuve dinero, ya no la pude pagar. Y ahora me están llamando todo el tiempo que me van a mandar a colección del dealer porque él no quiere regresarla a ver ni la quiso seguir pagando.
I don't know. He doesn't want to give it to me. I paid for a few months, but then I ran out of money and I was not able to pay it anymore. And I keep getting multiple calls that they're going to send it to collection. And I asked him for the ban for him to keep on paying it, but he's not doing it. I would like to ask something.
How much is that, how much are they seeking, is the original financer seeking from you for that loan, for that debt?
La última vez me dijeron $5,000 y ya no recuerdo exactamente lo que era.
The last time they told me $5,000 and a little bit more. I can't remember the exact amount.
Judge, want to pass this?
Okay. All right, counsel, and you have 22 minutes and 3 seconds left. Attorney Ramirez, cross.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. What day did you and Mr. Mejia agree to be married?
Nos comprometimos bueno, nos fuimos a vivir en agosto aproximadamente del 2020.
Well, we engaged. Well, we went to live, we lived together, started living together on August of 2020.
Okay, I want to know when you agreed to be married.
Judge, I'm objecting to this.
Your Honor, he brought up these elements of the common law marriage, so I'm just cross-examining authority already open.
Well, Judge, we filed for divorce. We
Divorce.
filed a counter petition for divorce, so we.
Yeah, I think that's a moot issue.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
It's a moot issue.
Okay,
So, the objection is sustained.
now you mentioned that Mr. Mejia has a company. What is the name of the company?
Es LP Construction, Innovation SPL Construction. Yo tengo unos cheques que tenía de la compañía. Puede chequear el nombre.
Innovation SLP Construction. I have checks where he used to put the name of the company and you can verify it there.
And then to your knowledge, you agree that this company is not incorporated as an LLC or as a professional, I'm sorry, as an LLC or a corporation, is that correct?
Realmente no lo sé, yo fui con él a darla de alta, pero yo no sé mucho del tema.
In reality, I don't know. I went with him to
You're
register.
not responsive after I don't know.
Sustained.
Now, you say that you brought some savings to the marriage. You were very clear on that. Are you asking the court to make a confirmation that you have separate property?
Sí.
Yes,
Your Honor, as to preserve, I would ask the court to exclude any evidence or request for relief regarding confirmation of separate property, as that was not played.
Judge, we're gonna ask for confirmation of separate property, and, there's no separate property to confirm, it no longer exists, Judge.
Okay.
This-
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue because her testimony is that she said she has no money left over.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that clear, because she brought it up as like, I brought this in and I wasn't sure. There was a lot of testimony. I just want to make sure that I'm preserving that father's not trying that issue by consent.
Okay. You may proceed.
Now, you said you asked, your uncle for a loan, and you said that Mr. Mejia was present on that day?
Sí, él y yo hablamos de eso.
Yes, we talk about that.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, on the date that you directly spoke with your uncle, was Mr. Mejia physically present speaking with your uncle?
Sí.
Yes.
What exact date was that?
No lo recuerdo el día exacto.
I can't remember the exact date.
How was that loan, documented in a contract?
No.
No.
Was that loan documented through bank transfers?
No.
Was that loan documented through any cashier's check?
No.
No.
Now, earlier you said that you have, regarding, financial accounts, that you have nothing to hide. Is that still your testimony then?
Yo no tengo nada que esconder.
I don't have anything to hide.
Your Honor, I approached the witness with, since.
Yes, you may.
Ms. Sarah, I'm calling your attention to exhibit number R24, which is already part of evidence. Those are the bank statements you produced during the discovery request. Is that correct?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, and you would agree that the date on that exhibit, which is R24, starts in April of 2024. Is that correct?
Sí.
Yes.
But you understand that the request for production asks you to produce all your bank statements from January 1st of 2020 to the present date. You understand that?
No le, ¿me puede explicar otra vez? No estoy entendiendo.
Can you explain that to me again? I don't understand.
The discovery request that was sent to you through your counsel asked you to produce all your bank statements from January 1st, 2020. Do you understand that?
I didn't understand.
And you will agree that on those bank statements you produced, you didn't, that does not start with January 1st, 2020, is that correct?
Estoy de acuerdo.
I agree.
So in fact, you are in fact, didn't produce and are hiding bank accounts from January 1st through April 24th, is that correct?
Judge, I'm gonna object to the characterization of hiding, Judge.
Those were the words that she used, I usually the words that she used about, I'm not hiding anything. And if she didn't produce something in the discovery she was supposed to, she's hiding.
No.
Hmm. So just so I'm clear, that you're interpreting as because she didn't produce it, that you're interpreting that as her not producing being hiding.
That's correct.
Okay,
My objection also was assuming that's not an evidence, Judge.
sustain.
Now, earlier you mentioned about the vehicle, a van that you purchased. Isn't it true that that vehicle was at a mechanic shop?
Eso fue lo último que él me dijo. Yo no sé si sea verdad.
That's the last time. That's the last thing he told me. I'm not sure if that's true.
You are aware that if that the reason why the mechanic is holding it is because it's been paid.
Yo no lo sé.
I don't know.
Yo no llevé el vehículo ahí.
I didn't take the vehicle there.
Okay, so now during the marriage, you maintained bank accounts during the marriage, you joined it with Mr. Mejia, is that correct?
Sí,
Yes,
And you had access to these community funds, is that correct?
sí, pero no pueden ser que no.
yes, it was a joint account.
Okay, so you understood, so you acknowledging that you're regular depositing with crew money from these accounts, correct?
Sí, cuando él me lo autorizaron.
Yes, and when he authorized,
And you understood, but you understood that these funds belong to the community estate, is that correct?
Sí,
yes,
Okay, I want you to turn your attention to exhibit R13. You see that, you acknowledge that this is a receipt that reflects you withdrawing $30,042 from an account ending in 5603.
sí, él me dijo que lo sacaron.
yes, he told me to.
Objection, non-responsive after yes.
Sustain.
Now, if you could do me a favor, man, could you flip 2 pages in that exhibit R13? Then you'll acknowledge that on this exhibit, it is both you and Mr. Mickey, is that correct?
Sí,
Yes,
And you'll acknowledge that on our page 3 or 4 of this bank account statement, it correctly reflects the withdrawal of $30,042. Do you agree, ma'am?
sí,
yes,
Now, you'll agree that when you physically went to the bank, this is a yes or no question, Mr. Pena did not agree, is that correct?
yes.
He did accompany you or you went by yourself?
son,
Alone,
And you will acknowledge that these funds were never deposited back into this bank account again, is that correct?
sí,
yes.
Yes, they were deposited or no, they were never deposited back.
no se depositaron.
They were not deposited.
Now, I want you to flip the page again to exhibit now R14. You will acknowledge that now you acknowledge that this is a receipt for $5,000 that again reflects a withdrawal made by you, is that correct?
Sí,
Yes,
And this was also from the joint bank account, correct?
sí,
yes,
And you will acknowledge that that money was never deposited back into that account, correct?
porque yo se lo entregué a él.
because I gave it to
Objection, non-responsive.
Sustain.
Ma'am, I ask you never deposited this money back into the account, is that correct?
Correcto.
correct.
Now, let's talk about another account. I want you to turn your attention to exhibit R11. Man, you speak Spanish, is that correct?
Yes,
So you're able to read this receipt that's in front of you, is that correct?
Sí,
yes,
And you will acknowledge that based on this receipt that you're able to read that this is a primary, what's in Spanish, primary ahorros, which translates to primary savings, is that correct?
Sí,
Yes,
Now, you'll acknowledge that this shows a balance of $60,148.54.
sí,
yes,
Now, you will acknowledge that this account has existed during the case of this divorce proceeding, correct?
antes del proceso de divorcio.
before the divorce process.
So you closed this account.
No la cerré yo, me la cerró el banco.
I didn't close it, the bank closed.
Now, I want you to turn your attention to exhibit R12, which is the immediate exhibit right after that. Now, you will acknowledge that this card has your name on it, is that correct?
That's a card?
Card.
Yes,
In fact, you were the only person who used this account, correct?
Sí,
yes,
So you'll admit that this account belonged to you.
sí me pertenecía.
yes, it belongs to me.
Now, during this lawsuit, do you remember receiving from our office through your counsel requests to answer questions and produce documentation?
Sí,
Yes,
Okay, so I want you to turn your attention to exhibit R20. Could you turn to page 3 of exhibit R20? Where am I put the witness?
Yes,
Now you acknowledge that these are the interrogatories that you answered on the road, is that correct?
sí,
yes,
Okay, now I'm gonna call your attention to interrogatory number 3, where you're asked to identify your bank accounts. Which account do you identify?
la cuenta que tengo, la única cuenta que tengo.
the only account that I had.
Okay, you acknowledge this interrogatory says account number ending in 4084, is that correct?
Sí,
Yes,
Now you understand that you have to answer this document under oath. You understand that?
yes,
Now you will acknowledge that the account that is tied to exhibit R11, that card, you'll acknowledge that you did not disclose that on this. Is that correct?
este es el número de la cuenta. La tarjeta es totalmente diferente a la cuenta.
this is the account number. The card is totally different from the account.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, are you saying that the card number ending in 9395 is tied to this bank account?
Es la única tarjeta que yo tenía y él me la robó por sí.
That's the only card that I used to have, and as a matter of fact, he's checked it for me.
Non-responsive, that's the only department was yeah.
sustain.
Ma'am, I'm asking you a very specific question. Is it your testimony today that the card ending in 9395 is tied to this account that ends in 4084?
Al momento en el que yo, es que no quiero que él diga que yo no estoy contestando, pero la tarjeta la tuve que cambiar porque él me la robó. La tarjeta sí estaba atada a esta cuenta.
Well, I just want to, say that you tell me that I'm
Objection,
not.
non-responsive.
Sustain.
Ma'am,
Hold
this
on
is-
one second. Let me read the question back. The card number ending in 9395, is it tied to the bank account ending in 4084?
That's
Sí,
Yes,
okay, so Now I'm a little confused because earlier when I asked you about that other bank account with the $60,000, you said that that account was closed. You remember telling me that a few moments ago.
Yo solo he tenido una tarjeta para mover mi cuenta de banco. Esa otra cuenta sí está cerrada.
I only have one card to do my bank account transactions. Yes, the other account is closed.
Okay, I need you to be very clear with me. The card ending in 9395. Are you telling me that that bank account is closed? Yes or no?
Sí, no sé, sí, yo no sé.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know.
Ma'am, you don't know which bank accounts you have?
Sí, solo tengo una cuenta de banco y bueno, tengo otra de Banco de América que la teníamos juntos, pero solo se usó unos meses y ahí está todavía.
Well, yes, I only have one bank account, and yes, we do have a bank
Objection,
account.
non-responsive after, non-responsive, Your Honor.
Non-responsive after, well, yes.
Now, ma'am, I want you to now turn to exhibit R23. Now, this exhibit is your supplemental interrogatories that you filed on July 10th of 2026. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, now you can turn again to page 3 of that exhibit. You will acknowledge that despite having the opportunity to supplement it, you still only identified account number 4084. Is that correct, ma'am?
Sí, porque solo tengo eso.
Yes, because that's the only one I have.
Now, I want to call your attention now to exhibit R18 and R19. Right in front of you, ma'am. Ma'am, you understand that you were also asked to produce bank statements during the course of this case. You understand that, ma'am?
Yo di lo que yo entendí, o sea, yo entregué lo que yo entendí.
I gave what I understood. I provided what I understood.
I want you to turn to page, well, what is page 3 of exhibit R18? Your Honor, may I approach the witness and identify her, please?
Yes.
Looking at request for production 1, you acknowledge that this request has a date of producing bank statements beginning January 1st, 2020. Is that a yes?
No lo entendí.
I didn't understand.
Okay, so you didn't understand any of the production of bank statements at all?
Yo pensé que con un año era suficiente, no lo entendí, la verdad.
I thought that 1 year was enough. I didn't understand it, to be honest with you.
Miré lo que él entregó y yo miré que él había entregado nomás unos cuantos y yo no pensé que, no lo entendí, lo siento.
I saw what he produced, and I noticed that he just produced a few of them.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object this to non-responsive narrative.
Sustained as to non-responsive.
Now, ma'am,
No lo entendí.
I didn't understand.
ma'am,
Yeah.
please answer my question. You were perfectly capable physically to go to the bank and get the required bank statements, is that correct?
Sí.
Yes.
Now, when looking at the exhibits in combination, you look at exhibit R11, you could please turn to that one.
What was the next? So, the
Ma'am, on that receipt, could you please read the date for me?
Abril 12 del 24.
April 12, 2024.
And now I want you to please indulge me and flip into exhibit R24. Do you see the Bank of America account in front of you?
Perdón.
I'm sorry?
You see the Bank of America, you see exhibit R24 in front of you?
Sí.
Yes,
And you'll acknowledge that this bank statement conveniently starts April 23rd, 2024, right?
Sí, pero
yes, but
Right, which you will acknowledge that it's just 10 days after the receipt that was dated 4/12/2024 that had $60,000 on it. You don't find that to be a coincidence, man?
no.
no,
And you will acknowledge sitting here today that you never produced any bank statements that are showing what happened to that $60,000. Is that correct?
Yo recuerdo haber dado el recibo de los estados de cuenta desde todo el año, o sea que tuvieron que haber sido los de enero, también enero, febrero, marzo, no desde aquí como usted lo está diciendo y lo está sugiriendo, eso no es así.
well, I remember that I provided the bank
Objection,
statement.
non-responsive.
Sustain.
Ma'am, it's a very simple yes or no question. You will acknowledge that you never produced any bank statements showing what happened to that $60,000. Is that correct?
Yes,
You never produced any statements showing where that money went. Is that correct?
yes,
As you sit here today, ma'am, you will acknowledge that you cannot point out to the court any bank statement or any exhibit introduced by your counsel that shows where that $60,000 went. Is that correct?
No entiendo la pregunta, ¿me lo repito?
can you repeat the question? I don't understand.
Ma'am, you will acknowledge here today in front of the court that you cannot point out to any bank statement or exhibit that shows where that $60,000 went. Is that correct?
No.
No,
Now, today you're asking the court to sell that house. Is that correct?
Sí.
yes,
And then for the proceeds, which are based on the evidence, approximately $67,000 to be used to pay your uncle, correct?
Just object to assuming facts on evidence.
No, these are exhibits that are on there. Part of my summer request for relief is a calculation on there. The DCAT value has already been admitted into evidence. The mortgage statement is R7 is evidence. I'm just doing the math from the exhibits that are already on the record.
It says 67,000. I thought the loan was 60.
No, correct. I'm asking about how she wants the house divided.
Okay, rephrase your question because the question that you asked was, and then for the proceeds, which are based on the evidence, approximately $67,000 to be used to pay your uncle, correct?
Correct. That's my question. She wants to, if she's asking the court to use the 67,000 to pay her uncle. The 60,000 back. That was part of the request for relief. I'm just asking, confirming that that's what she's asking.
So is it 60,000 or 67,000?
67,000 is what we say is the net equity in the home. 60,000 is the loan that she's claiming.
Okay,
And my objection was assuming facts on evidence, because really our exhibit number 2 shows that there's a proceeds available of 92,000. So we said based on the evidence,
I'm using my exhibits, which are part of the record.
so based on his evidence, then
right. So sustain, rephrase.
Ma'am. You're asking the court to, what are you're asking the court today to sell the marital residence, correct?
Correct.
And you're asking that the proceeds of the sale of the marital residence, that $60,000 of that go to your uncle, is that correct?
Lo que yo le pido, por favor, el tribunal, solo se le paguen mi préstamo a mi tío.
That's what I'm asking the court to please pay my uncle.
So you're asking the court today, just to be clear, to pay your uncle $60,000 out of that proceeds of the home, while at the same time, you get to not disclose what you did with another $60,000, is that correct?
You're talking about projecting multivariates, it's two questions in one.
Sustain, one question at a time.
Ma'am, you're asking the court to pay your uncle, to order that $60,000 out of the proceeds of the sale of the home, go to your uncle. That's what you're asking today.
Correct.
And at the same time, you're asking the court to not take into account the $60,000 that were in the Bank of America account that you did not disclose, correct?
Correcto, porque eran mis ahorros de soltera. Y ya los gasté.
Correct, because those were my
Objection, that was responsible, correct?
Sustain.
And ma'am, you believe that that is a just and right division of the marital estate?
Sí, sí, creo que es justo.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. Maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, I want to give the translator a break.
What kind of health insurance do your two kids have?
Medicaid.
And do you know if Mr. Dia has any other children besides the two of you?
One son.
How old is that son?
Around 14.
Is he going to Texas, that son?
No,
No,
Where does he live?
no,
me.
Mexico.
That's the list.
All right. Attorney Lopez?
Thank you.
Richard,
Yes.
and I'm going to show you what's already been marked as the minutes, our exhibit number 3. Are those text messages between you and the father? Are these text messages and all been in relation to that money, that $60,000?
Sí.
Yes,
And have we had these text messages translated, man? Are these messages in English as well, man?
yes.
No,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Now, do these text messages represent that the father knew that he owed the $60,000 to your uncle?
sí.
Yes,
And were you trying to get him to pay that money and you were willing to do something with the house?
Yo le dije a él que lo único que me interesaba es que le pagara a mi tío.
I told him that the only thing that I was interested in is for him to pay uncle.
Now, did you ever go to his lawyer's office to try to get this arranged by virtue of your husband telling you to go to his office, then you work it out?
Sí.
Yes,
Was it ever resolved there at his lawyer's office?
No.
no,
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as given before. It's a draft of the sales on the house when you bought it. On page 3, does it represent that you had to put down $66,000 for this house?
Sí,
Yes,
Now, you said, have you ever made a payment on your truck from an account that was principally your husband's?
en una ocasión sí.
one occasion, yes.
And why did you do that, man?
Que me había dicho que me iba a ayudar a pagar la camioneta.
Because he told me that he was gonna help me paying for the truck.
And after you made that payment, what did your husband tell you?
Se enojó muchísimo y me dijo que iba a llamar a la policía porque usé su tarjeta, que él ya me había quitado a mí de las bolsas.
He was very angry. He said that he was gonna call the police because I was no longer, or he took my name away from the car.
And how much was that payment for, man?
124.
724.
Man, has he ever threatened you that he was going to call the police about any of these transfers for 30,000, 5,000, or any of those other sums?
No,
No, never.
Man, what did you do with the money that you took when you took the $30,000 out? What did you do with that money?
I gave it to him.
What about the time you took 5,000 out? What did you do with that money?
lo pagué a los trabajadores.
I paid the workers.
Man, are you afraid of your husband?
Sí, mucho.
Yes, a lot.
Man, would you ever steal money from him?
Nunca.
Never.
That's what he's judged.
All right, anything further for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Attorney Dale?
Nothing from the state.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you may return to your seat. And Attorney Lopez, you may call your next witness.
I'm the rest of this time, Judge.
All right,
I'll call husband.
okay. All right, Attorney Ramirez, whenever you're ready.
Mr. Pena, I'd like to begin talking about the home. Could you get that binder at some point, you go to exhibit R6. Do you see it in front of you, sirs?
Yes.
According to this exhibit, what is the approximate value of the marital residence?
Aquí dice que una proporción por año. Un 335,730.
Well, it says that the real value every year is 3,335,000 and 730.
Let's turn to the next page to exhibit R7. Is this the mortgage statement that you get?
Yes,
Okay. Is this the most, what is the date on this statement?
Eso es junio 21 del 2026.
June 21st, 2026.
And how much is the outstanding principal as of the date of this published statement?
Se debe al banco 257.576.90.
What we owe to the bank is $257,000, 576 with 90 cents.
Okay, and who's making the mortgage payment since separation?
Me.
Okay, could you turn to exhibit R number 8? Is this the account where you were making the payments from?
Sí,
Yes,
You continue to make those payments every month since separation?
sí,
yes,
If the court awards you the residence, are you able to continue making those payments?
sí.
yes.
Why is it important for you to keep the marital residence?
Es el único, digamos, patrimonio que le puedo dejar a mis propios hijos en el caso de que yo.
Because that's the only inheritance that I can leave to my children in case something happens to me.
During your marriage, do you and your wife have community funds and joint bank accounts?
De donde yo ganaba el dinero, sí, donde lo ganaba ella, no.
From what I earned, yes, but what she earned, no.
So I want you to turn to exhibit R now. Is this her primary checking account, Mr. Mejia?
Sí,
Yes,
Did you produce the records requested by the opposing counsel to the other side during this case?
sí, yo le digo.
yes, I get from everything.
Now, if you could turn to exhibit R10. Is this? Do you see it in front of you, sir?
Sí,
Yes.
Is that the bank statement that your wife produced during discovery?
I guess, yes.
When you reviewed the discovery with office, did you notice if she produced any other bank statements?
no, solo eso.
No, only this.
Did there come a time when your wife withdrew money from your joint bank account?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay, I want you to turn to exhibit R13. Looking, do you see it in front of you?
sí,
Yes, looking at that exhibit, did you authorize or consent to that amount being withdrawn by your wife?
no.
No,
Were those funds community funds?
Esto sí, ahora se depositaron en otra cuenta, no.
this yes, but the other account where there were deposits, no.
Were those funds ever returned to the community estate?
Yes.
No,
No.
Looking at exhibit R14, did you authorize that withdrawal?
no,
No.
Were those funds ever deposited back into the joint bank account?
no.
No.
Now, at some point in this case, did you discover that your wife had another bank account?
Sí.
Yes.
How did you learn about that?
Como cuando estaba limpiando mi recámara, moví mi cama y abajo de mi cama encontré un recibo con la cantidad de dinero y la tarjeta donde puedo depositar más dinero.
When I was sitting in my bedroom, I moved my bed and I found a receipt with the amount of money that is there and also where it was deposited.
So looking at exhibit R11 and R12, is that the receipt and card that you found?
No, esto no es lo mismo. Oh, ¿quién lo ha dado? Es la 12, perdón. En la 12 este es el recibo que yo encontré.
No, this is not, okay. Okay, on number 12. Yes, this is the receipt that I found.
And that is the corresponding card as well?
And that is what, counsel?
The corresponding card.
Sí.
Yes,
Before you discovered this card and this receipt, did you have any awareness that there was another bank account?
No,
no,
Did she ever identify any other bank accounts during the divorce proceedings?
fíjate, no, cuenta de banco.
she had a bank account.
After you and your wife separated, did you make any payments to your wife?
Sí,
Yes,
I want you to turn to exhibit R15. Do you see it in front of you?
sí.
yes.
What was the purpose of this payment?
El propósito de ese pago fue que yo y ella habíamos hecho un acuerdo verbal de pues le iban a pagar los $60,000 a su tío. De este, yo le pagué el primer pago, que fueron $10,000 con un cheque.
Well, the purpose of this payment is that we reach a verbal agreement, between her and me, that we're gonna pay, her uncle the 60,000. And this was the first payment of $10,000 that we did.
Now look at exhibit R17. Can you turn to the, I'm sorry, R16. Can you turn to that next page? What was the purpose of this payment, sir?
Fueron gastos que ella hizo en la casa, como cosas que se compraron cuando nos movíamos de un apartamento a una casa. Ella gastó algunas cosas y como muebles, cosas así, y después me lo cobró otra vez.
Or it's just expenses that we incur in the house. When we moved from an apartment to the house, she spent money, like in furnitures and things like that. And she collect everything from me.
And now, if you can move down to exhibit R17, you do that first.
Sí,
Yes,
You made this payment to your wife as well, is that correct?
sí.
yes,
Where the purpose of your payment is you trying to meet your obligation to your wife during the marriage.
Sí, eran pagos que ella, de cualquier gasto que ella hacía de su tarjeta o de su cuenta de ella, me lo cobraba a mí y ahí estaban.
yeah, these are the things that she used to charge me for money that she used with her bank account or with her card. And here's the proof.
Now, Mr. Pay, you're not asking the court to award you every piece of community property, is that correct?
No quiero todas las propiedades.
No, I don't want problems. I don't want all the property.
Can you turn to exhibit R21 that's in front of you, please? Mr. Mejia, based on this proposed property division, are you asking the court to award you the mayor residence as your share of the community estate?
Perdón, no entendí.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
As part of the division of the marital estate, or are you asking the court to award you the marital residence?
Sí, me gustaría. Si lo pudiera hacer algo.
Yes, I would like to see if they can do something to the respect about
Okay.
this.
And you're also asking for the 2005 40 condo line, is that correct?
For what? Econo?
Condo line.
Esta es la que yo manejo con.
This is the one that I brought every single day.
And as part of your proposed property division, you're asking the court to consider reconstituting the estate and the funds that your wife withdrew and that she, according to her proposed property division, is in her possession, is that correct?
Judge, you may, but it's Judge.
Sustained. Counsel, also, I stopped your time real quick. In your counter petition, I didn't see a reconstituted estate
It's
claim.
on there, Your Honor. Let me go ahead and
Yeah, maybe I missed. And I'm looking at the counter petition that was filed on July 6th.
I filed an amended one on the 9th, Your Honor, which
Okay.
is 7 days before the
Hold on, let me go back. Oh, okay.
yeah,
I see
page
this.
406, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may proceed. You have 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Mr. Mejia, based on the your proposed property division or exhibit part 21, or not in the court, to approve that proposed property division.
Yes,
Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Stacy.
Mr. Mejia, you have one other child who lives in Mexico, correct?
yes.
And I'm gonna let mother's attorney dive into most of your employment, but what's the name of the company that you own and operate?
Es que como tal no es una compañía, es un negocio.
It's not a company, it's a business.
What's the name of the business?
Es Innovation SLP Construction.
It's Innovation SLP Construction.
And when did you start this?
Creo que fue en el 2023.
I think it was in 2023.
Did you start it with your wife?
Se inició cuando estábamos juntos, pero vamos con ella.
We started it when we were together, but not with her.
And generally speaking, what kind of projects and work do you all for your clients?
Son servicios de plomería.
Plumbing services.
So without looking at the exhibits that have been offered, do you recall how much money you made before for any expenses in June of 2026 last month?
No estoy seguro, no estoy seguro tanto, pero estoy seguro. Pero estos no son de estos gastos se tienen que pagar a los trabajadores, se pagan materiales, todo el dinero que entra a la cuenta se paga todo eso.
Well, I'm not sure, exactly sure. I think it was when it's.
Judge, let me reject no response to that, but I'm not sure.
Sustain.
Mr. Mejia, at this point, are you the sole operator of this company?
Sí,
Yes,
And do you have any regular employees that you pay
No, ahorita lo compré, el negocio no está bien, la economía es muy mala, estoy trabajando solo, tengo más trabajadores.
Not right now. The economy is bad, the business is bad. I'm working by myself. I don't have any workers.
So you hire workers to help you when you need, is that right?
Sí,
Yes,
And then you perform a job and are subsequently paid for that job, you decide how the money is distributed, correct?
no es con mi decisión,
not my decision.
Whose decision was it?
pero que están los trabajadores, trabajando con jóvenes contratistas.
It's what the workers earn and also what the contractors are charging.
Right, but your clients pay you and then you give the money out to your workers and you pay them, your things, that's all done by yourself.
Sí,
Yes,
You don't know how much money you earned last month, is that correct?
exactamente, no estoy seguro.
I'm not sure exactly.
When was the last time you were paid by a client after performing a job?
El día, no sé, la semana pasada.
Friday, last week.
Remember how much you earned?
Lo que gané yo fueron como $600.
What I earned, it was about $600.
How much was the check that you received last Friday?
Y creo que fueron 2,500.
I think it was $2,500.
No, no te fue de 1,400.
And the other was 1,400.
Okay, so you received two checks last Friday?
Sí,
Yes,
Did you say that you received at least one check? That's right there. On average, how many payments do you receive per week on average?
son dos, pero no son de la misma cantidad.
sometimes one or two, but they're not the same amount.
Currently, as of today, how many jobs do you have pending?
Dos,
Two,
When do you expect to complete the job?
yo espero terminar las semanas que siguen.
I expect to finish them next week.
Do you expect to receive any payments this week?
No,
Porque tengo que pagar como 1,800 de trabajadores.
I still have to pay 1,800 for workers.
Do you have any business vehicles?
Before, definitely.
Yes, my Ford economy.
Your personal vehicles, which you use for business?
Sí, este no es un negocio grande.
Yes, it is not a big business.
Estimates?
All right. Attorney Lopez, you have 17 minutes and 29 seconds.
Thank you. So you're asking that you want to keep the business that has been built up the time you've been married to my client, right?
No, si piensas que es un negocio millonario, se puedo protejarte.
No, if you think it's a millionaire business, then I can live with it.
Objection, non-responsive, Judge.
Sustained after no.
So you want the judge to award you the house, right?
Sí.
Yes,
And sir, do you admit that you owe the uncle $60,000 for the loan on the house?
and I owe him now.
Did he loan your wife $60,000 for the house?
Then it's both of our loans.
Sir, did her uncle loan anyone in this room $60,000 to put down on the house that you're living in?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Did you put $60,000 down on this house that you got from my client's uncle?
No.
No,
So where did the $66,000 come from, sir?
Entre todas mis cuentas donde estaban los $60,000.
I show all my accounts where the $60,000 were.
So, sir, do you deny getting any money from the uncle?
Yeah.
Pero recibí yo, sí.
That I received it? Yes.
Sir, didn't you send text messages to my client between you and her about wanting to resolve this $60,000 loan with her uncle?
Pudiera dar una explicación, si me lo permiten.
If you allow me to, I can explain that.
Just answer my question, sir. Didn't you send text messages between you and my client about trying to resolve the $60,000 loan with her uncle? Yes or no?
Yes,
You even asked her to come to your lawyer's office a couple of times to resolve it. Isn't that true?
Trata de un notario.
it was a notary.
Sir, isn't it true that sir, isn't it true? May I approach one, Judge?
Yes.
I'm going to show you exhibit number R2. This is your financial information sheet. Isn't it true, sir, that all the expenses that you have every month, house payment, and personal expenses, restaurants, is $9,304 a month?
Yes.
And that's in your exhibit number 2, right?
Yes.
Did you put anything about your income on here? Yes or no?
Zero.
No.
No.
So you gave me all your bank statements at least up until the end of May. Is that right, sir?
Sí.
Yes.
And sir, well, let me take that back. Sir, you knew my client had $60,000 she had before she got with you, right?
Your Honor, I'm gonna check as to relevance, about whether, because that goes to whether or not the funds were acquired before the marriage, that's a separate property, but it's not relevant.
What? What's your question?
Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
Did my client bring some money into the marriage before she came to live with you?
Your Honor, I'm gonna object, it goes to the same question about whether or not there were funds before the marriages were brought in, that's not relevant, there's no separate property claim, there's no tracing.
The judge, this has to do with a hidden account that he's trying to make out to be that she stole money from him. And that's what this is regarding, Judge.
Okay. Overrule.
Sir, my client had some money before she met you and that she had when she started living with you. Isn't that right, sir?
No,
No,
Sir, isn't it true that she lent you money from her personal account that she had to help you with the business?
no,
no,
Your First Judge,
Yes.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 16. Sir, is this a check that you wrote to my client? Yes or no?
Which exhibit six?
yes,
Since RER 16. And how much is that check for?
18,000.
$18,000.
And what does it say here on the memo line?
De deuda.
Something that I owe.
Sir, I'm going to show you exhibit number 17. Is this another check you wrote to my client?
Yes,
How much is that one for?
9,000.
now 9,400.
And what does it say on the memo line of this one?
Pago de préstamo.
Pay alone.
Sir, do you have an issue with letting my client get some of the property, some of the furniture from the house?
Si los quiere todos, se los quiere todos.
She wants all of them, she can take them.
May I approach again, Judge?
Yes.
So I'm going to show you what I've marked as exhibit number 5. Are these your bank accounts, sir, that you provided to me?
Sí.
Yes,
And sir, can you just see that in the month of February of 2026, that I went through and highlighted all personal expenses for eating out and that you made. You want to do that, sir?
yes,
Sure, I'm showing you more, the exhibit number 8. I went through and summarized all those personal expenses for February. Do you see that you spent $6,362 in personal expenses in February?
yes,
You see, sir, I summarized for March of 2026, and you spent $7,006 on exhibit number 9.
yes,
You see in exhibit number 10 that you, in April of 20, you spent $6,210.
yes,
And in May of 2026, you spent $4,687 in personal expenses, right?
yes,
And apart from that, you also in another bank account paid the house payment, right?
De aquí se paga la casa.
then here, I pay it.
But sir, I only added up your personal expenses. I didn't add up anything that has to do with your bank account. What you do is you transfer money from this account into a Texas bank account to pay your Texas mortgage. Isn't that right, sir?
Que también lo mostré ahí.
Yes, and I also show it.
So that mortgage statement is about $2,800 a month, right?
Sí.
Yes,
And then you also pay you're paying $1,000 a month for child support, right, sir?
1,050.
So if we take the approximately $6,000 you spent on personal expenses, and we add the $2,800 for the mortgage payment, and then we add another $1,000, sir, yes, we add another $1,000 for the child support, you spend about $10,000 a month for your personal expenses, don't you, sir? Just answer my question, sir.
Ok, ¿cuál es la pregunta?
Okay, what is the question?
You spend, let's just go for the month of April. You spent $6,200 on personal expenses in the month of April of 2026, right?
Okay, yes.
And on top of that, you had to pay the mortgage of $2,800, right?
Yes.
And then on top of that, you also paid $1,050 in child support, right?
Yes.
So you essentially pay almost $10,000 a month just to live, isn't that right, sir?
Yes.
Well, that is about what you put in your personal financial information sheet, about $9,300. Isn't that right, sir?
Ok.
Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
That's the Judge.
Okay. Attorney Ramirez, anything further? You have 1 minute and 58 seconds.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State,
No, Judge, no questions.
all right. Sir, you may return to your seat. Attorney Ramirez, you may call your next witness.
Responding to arrest.
Okay. State,
No, we just for the state, Judge.
all right. Does the state have a recommendation? What?
You have a rebuttal witness, Judge.
Oh, yes. Did you want to call your rebuttal witness?
Yes, Judge, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And counsel, whenever you're ready, you have 6 minutes and 44 seconds.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, quick state your name, please.
Martin Arbiz Espino.
And,
Please.
Arbizo.
and sir, how do you relate to my client?
My niece.
And sir, do you know Mr. Mejia over here?
Yes.
Did you ever talk to Mr. Mejia and your niece about a $60,000 loan?
Yes.
And did you give a loan to this couple?
Yes.
And why did you loan them money, sir?
To buy a house.
And sir, how long was the loan for?
For a year.
Have you been paid back any money for that loan, sir?
No.
Sir, did you ever put this loan in writing?
No.
Why not?
Because she's my niece, it's family, and I trust her.
Did you trust Mr. Mejia?
Oh, yes, yes.
That's a restriction.
Okay. Attorney Ramirez?
Yes, usual questions. When you discuss this loan, was Mr. Mejia physically present with you having this conversation? Yes, what exact date was that?
I don't have the set, the date, it was around the 23rd.
And this loan was not documented in any written form, is that correct?
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Anything from the state?
No questions from this.
All right. Attorney Lopez?
Nothing further, just.
All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Judge.
All right, sir, you're free to get off the witness stand. Instead, I know I asked you a question. I had a couple of questions real quick. Sir, did you sign your wife's name on that IRS form?
No, yo fui a hacer mis taxas donde me llevó a ir a hacerlas y ahí más me dijeron.
No, I went to do my taxes where she told me to go, and they told me to sign.
So you did sign it?
No,
No.
Who signed it?
no sé, yo fui al mismo sitio donde ella me llevaba a hacer las taxas y nomás me dijeron que honestamente yo de taxas no sé mucho, no sé cómo hacer las taxas. Ella me llevó a un lugar y en ese lugar estábamos los dos en la lista de las taxas. Entonces yo solamente les dije, vengo a hacer las taxas, me las están pidiendo. Y
No, I just went to the same place that we used to go, where she used to take me, and I went to the tax office together, and I was the same place that we used to go, and they just told me to do it.
Okay.
una vez que les digo mis taxas,
No, that's fine.
solamente me dijeron firma aquí.
That's fine, sir. That's fine. There was testimony about the van. The mechanic is waiting on payment.
Sí, ella habló con el mecánico.
She spoke with the mechanic.
Okay. Did the mechanic tell you they were waiting on payment?
El mecánico me dijo que no me la iba a regresar hasta que ella le diera el pago.
The mechanic told me that he was not gonna return it until he paid.
Pero ella dice que no sabe dónde está la vena, entonces porque el mecánico le dijo a ella sí que ya no sabe dónde está la vena.
But why is she saying that? She doesn't know where's the van now.
Porque no sé.
Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. Ma'am, you said that the $30,000 from the joint account, he told you to take it out. Why did he tell you to take it out? If you know.
Okay.
Porque a él le gustaba manejar cash para pagarle a los trabajadores, porque no les gustaba que les dieran cheques. Y él me pidió ese dinero.
Because he used to like to pay cash to the workers because they didn't like to get checks, and he asked for that money.
Okay,
Es mentira porque todo.
hold on. The $5,000 you said that was to pay the workers. Is it the same workers that don't like to be paid by check?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Now, sir, you said there was a verbal agreement we were referencing exhibit 15, R15. You said there was a verbal agreement to repay the uncle. So you gave her $10,000. So did you pay the money to her to repay her uncle?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Was the $10,000 the only payment you gave her to repay the uncle?
Sí.
Yes.
So the uncle is owed $50,000.
Yes.
Okay. Did you give the $10,000 to your uncle?
No, pues tiene mi hermano, porque mi tío me dijo que iba a esperar a que se les contara.
No, my brother has the money because my uncle told me to wait until we get the entire money together.
Okay, so you still owe uncle. So he thinks you all owe 50 and you're saying you still owe 60.
Lo que pasa es que ese dinero, los 10,000 primero él me dijo que iban a ser, bueno, yo se los pedí para mi tío, después él me dijo, como yo di $5,000 para la VEN, porque el préstamo estaba con 20% de interés, y él me dijo que tomara ese dinero por esos 5,000 y $5,000 que yo puse para las reparaciones, todo lo que se le hizo nuevo a la casa.
Well, the thing is that they were getting $10,000, but then he told me that we used $5,000 for the bank to pay the bank, and because we used to have a 20% loan on it, and then he told me to use the other $5,000 for house repairs.
Okay. So ma'am, you said that the account that's associated with card 9395 is closed. Did I hear that right?
Sí,
Yes,
So what is the card number for the account ending in 4084?
no me sé el número porque la tarjeta me la cambiaron.
I don't know the number because they changed the card.
But you do have a card that's associated with 4084.
Sí, solo la tengo en mi teléfono.
Yes, I don't have it on my phone.
Okay, thank you. The bank statements that relates to the $60,000, where are they?
The-
La cuenta de banco
The bank account?
Yes.
está cerrada. Ese dinero yo lo tuve que gastar porque, como les dije, yo me quedé embarazada sola y en mi posparto él ya tenía otra mujer y otros hijos en la casa. Se desobligó totalmente desde antes de que estuviera yo, que me separara de él, como del mayo del 2023 empezamos a tener los problemas, del 24. Y ella no me quiso hacer ningún pago. O sea, yo me gasté todo ese dinero. Mis gastos ascienden a más de $5,000 por mis bebés, mi niño grande. Yo ya no tengo ese dinero.
That bank account is closed. I spent all of that money because when he left me, I was pregnant with my children, and during postpartum, I also spent that money because it was since May 2023. I'm sorry, May 2024, and I had spent that money. It's because my expenses are about $5,000 per month due to my children.
Do you have any receipts of what you spent the $60,000 on?
Yo creo que sí, las cuentas del banco, dinero que saqué.
I think so, on the bank accounts and money that I withdrew.
Okay, thank you. And sir, I just want to make sure my math is correct. From February of this year through May of this year, you had $27,503 in personal expenses.
No son personales, son pagos de los trabajadores, gasolina. Ahora a veces ahorita como la situación estaba más complicada, la gente no quiere trabajar. A veces yo les ofrezco pagar la comida a ellos en trabajo para que puedan venir a trabajar.
Well, it's not, there are not personal expenses. It's just that I have to pay the workers, I have to pay gas, and since the situation now is very complicated, sometimes I offer them food for them to come and work with me.
Okay, so you use money from your business for your personal living expenses?
Perdón, ¿cuál es la pregunta?
I'm sorry, what is the question?
So let me ask a different question. You do not pay yourself a certain salary through your business, right?
No.
No,
You just transfer money from your business account to your personal account. Is that right?
El único dinero que transfiero de la cuenta de negocios a mi cuenta personal es cada mes para hacer el pago de mi casa.
the only money that I transfer from my business account to my personal account is every month for my payment of my house.
Okay. Okay. All right, state.
Judge, I think everyone agrees that, one will be ordered to maintain government medical for the 2 days of the product and pay the $50, cash back. If the court finds that father has $10,000 net, for 2 kids, judge, that'd be $2,500. For double. Max support would be $2,925, and that would be based on net income of $11,700. State's just asking for guideline Johnson.
And the guideline is the 2,500.
If the court finds that Mr. Mejia's net income after self-employed expenses is 10,000, yes, judge.
Okay. Thank you.
With appropriate step now. Yes.
All right. Attorney Lopez, do you have a proposed property division? I was looking through the exhibits. I didn't see one, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
The only thing we have is that one is the exhibit number 22, I believe, has the personal property that my client has.
Yes.
She wants, and the only thing we asked on is the house be sold, proceeds, and that's house be sold, proceeds be given to my client or author. That's the only, and he can keep the business, and so that's the only. And everybody else keep everything they have. I think that's our proposal.
Your Honor, I
Okay.
will point out. We keep bringing up this word, this business. He's a contractor, Your Honor, he uses that name, but neither one of us put on our inventory appraisement any business or any valuation. So as far as like, we're awarding somebody a business, it's a non-existent entity. It's basically his self-employment, so I don't know why, like, I understand why we bring it up, but I'm just saying that's not a divisible asset.
I got it. All right. Is there anything further from any side?
Not from the state, judge.
Okay. Attorney Lopez, would you like to close?
I will close after vegetable. I don't know if he has time for closing, but
He does. You have 1 minute and 13 seconds.
It starts when I start talking, right?
Yes.
Give me a while.
should have started just a few minutes ago.
Your Honor, I think the court has heard plenty of evidence regarding my reconstitution claim. Even now, when you ask the wife about the $60,000, she was already handed on the stand. She didn't produce that account, and she just admitted to you that you went and spent that money. So as far as I'm concerned, that should be reconstituted into the marital estate. As far as the loan, Your Honor, there's no paperwork regarding the loan actually having any type of lien on the property. So I think it would be inappropriate for the court to say, we're gonna sell this property and satisfy this loan. This is a personal loan of the party. And if the court were to divide it even between them, that's certainly within the court's purview. But to attach that loan to property when there's no security instrument or anything attached to that property would be, I would say, would be overstepping and giving the right to a third party when that party hasn't pled it, or it would be giving a right to a wife that is not before the court, which is an equitable lien on certain property. So if the court deems So I think the evidence for that money is owed, but it's a personal loan between the parties that should be split evenly between the parties and should have no effect on what happens with the proceeds of the marital home if it in fact is sold. So I would ask the court to go by proposed property division, award Mr. Mejia the property based on the appraisal district value, which we are the only ones that provide an actual document that showing the value. That was not provided by the wife. We provided the statement.
Okay, you're out of time.
And so we would ask the court to adopt the proposed property division.
Thank you, counsel. Attorney Lopez.
Judge, I want to address this $60,000 that my client brought into the marriage. Judge, you heard her testify that she made one payment out of his account to pay her truck payment of $700, and he threatened to call the police on her for that one payment. But we have before the court on R16 and 17 two checks that he wrote to her, one for $18,000 and another for $9,400, both for a payment of a debt. Now, why would he pay her debt unless he owed her money? And certainly, Judge, you also heard testimony that about this, him calling the police. If she took $30,000 or $5,000 out of the account improperly, why didn't he produce any text messages, any threats about calling the police on that? Because he authorized her to do it. These transactions occurred in 2022, 2 years before they even separated. Transactions going on between husband and wife, her helping him to manage his business affairs, Judge. So it's inconceivable that she robbed him, stole money, or took anything from him. She testified she's afraid of him. So why would she do that, Judge? Doesn't make any sense. Judge, I would suggest also the court take into consideration that in this situation, given the circumstances, that the house should be sold and the $60,000 could be worth to my client because she is anxious to pay her uncle with money that's owed. Secondly, Judge, that his expenses are those bank statements do not include his payments to his employees, payments for business expenses. Those are all personal expenses, and I've highlighted them all. They're all personal expenses, and we didn't even go into his business checking account, which he never produced documents on. So those things don't have nothing to do with his business. They're all personal expenses. And even his income information sheet says he spends $9,300 just to live. So the court should start there and work up to 10 because the evidence is there that that's how much money he makes, because he can't even testify how much money he makes. He was unable to provide the court with a number, but we sure knows what he spends. And that lifestyle is what we're asking the court to base his child support and grant my client child support and grant her the furniture. He's gonna keep the business, which is a business. He's gonna keep the equipment, which is there. We don't know anything about it. He's gonna keep it. We could do an appraisal on it. He's gonna keep all that. All my client wants to do is resolve her claims with her uncle, get some furniture, get her child support, and move on, Judge. We ask you to grant divorce and grant the property division we're asking for.
Thank you.
Sir, can I provide one small clarity?
You are out of time.
I know, but I would say the interest of fairness of the court would have been considering that the wife was very evasive for a cross-examination on each for the bank.
You're out of time. Thank you, counsel. Let me go back to this. So both of the parties are wanting the home to be sold. Let me see.
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Well, not sold. He wants the house outright. She wants it sold.
Correct.
What if the court were to entertain it? Would he buy her outright?
I think if he were to give it time to obtain proper financing, yes, 120 days maximum.
So she would have to wait to get money. He doesn't actually have the money to pay her, like to write her a check today to buy her out.
That would be.
Okay. And who's living in the house right now?
Father.
All right.
Father, just go. I'm sorry, just want to clarify.
Your Honor, I will he doesn't have a girlfriend living with him, and that was no testimony, so I would object to that kind of a out of order comment.
Well, just to clarify for the record, the child spouse support was only to continue if the girlfriend continued to live with him.
Mhm.
And they agreed to a judgment for all that past due child support, hence they agreed the girlfriend continued to live with him. Otherwise, in the temporary orders, Judge Lee said $750 a month as long as the girlfriend continues to live with him. Since they agreed that all those months he was past due.
Just because we agree with judgment doesn't mean we're agreeing to the underlying facts.
Why would he agree to pay money if she didn't live there?
We're agreeing to that because the office of the, well, I don't want to get into attorney-client level why we agreed to that. I
Okay,
will say that we saw the attorney general's records and we saw what they proposed, and I didn't have a proper documentation to rebut what he paid. So it was in his best interest to agree just based on the evidence. Has nothing to do with whether he's admitting to the underlying facts.
got it. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the divorce on the grounds of insupportability as of today, and the court is going to take the ruling under advisement. So you get a ruling out on Thursday, excuse me, today is Thursday. You get a ruling on Monday. It'll be emailed out to you all. And that's the ruling of the court for today.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks for giving us the time today, Judge.
You're welcome.
And thank you, court reporters.
You're welcome. Always